Feeling the same way. Fucking tough fucking few months. Cheers. Tough fucking few months. It's me first, by the way. I'm not drunk. Day's over. Spent the whole fucking weekend working. It's quite funny. My mates just text us on WhatsApp saying says I've got new money and no class. All right, we'll break this down. So what's up, guys? If you haven't watched the monthly recap video, as you know, I did really well, made a bunch of money. From a very small amount of money, I made a very large amount of money, large from working class. And then last few months have been a struggle. So if you haven't seen it, watch. I strongly recommend you watch. I'll just share my screen. We'll go on this screen. Move this. I strongly recommend that you watch this minus 200 net loss video because in it I've indicated all of the changes that I've made it to my strategy to get better at trading. The only other thing that I'd say is I'm only with broker. The most I can lose in a day is $1,000, and most of my trades are $100 risk. So basically, if you haven't seen the whole video, you might want to watch it after this one. Let's just say hello to a couple of people. What's up, Storm? Clint, fucking fabulous to see you here. Very nice, brother. I'm gonna literally have screen recorded all of my trades. I'm just gonna run you through the screen records to show you how I've traded the strategy so far, and we'll jump straight into share screen now. So one sec. Oops. Share. Whoops. Yeah, share screen. My eyes. Fucking eyeballs hurt. So, I mean, the first thing to show you is just how I'm kind of laying out stuff. Really good to get off to a good start. Let's make sure I can see you guys all right. Yeah, really good to get off to a good start. 660. And I'm really I had a paper trade profit of bottom hold, bottom. That was more. I'll have to double check that figure, but yeah, I'm basically paper trading setups I lost on last month or I'm break even on, and stuff that I'm winning on, I've added into the list. So yeah, whatever. 660. Things are feeling a bit more back to normal. Feels like I've recaptured a bit of an edge. Let's see what happens. But I really want to just take you through the trades. So if we take a look, this was the day. EVK is a paper trade. It's not a real trade. So that was $404. There you go. EVK was a paper trade, and then the rest were real trades. So AUTL, I don't have the screen recording, so we'll just go over it quite quickly. But AUTL traded no volume today. It had no demand, and it started falling apart at the open. So literally just hit it early. When a stock has next to no volume, it's just got no demand and no chance of squeezing. So for me, that does fit the criteria where I will short it before 940. So I think I can find, what is it, AUTL? So yeah, if we look at AUTL, I can see the shit. I'm putting it on Twitter. One sec. AUTL. Let's just bring this up. There it is. This is a pretty standard short. Very simple, very basic, very easy. And I had good conviction that based on the float and the news and the volume that this move could never sustain. We're talking 400,000 candles and very light pre-market. So I hit it at the 650s, 670s, risking 675 and just took it off. Took it off when I was up more than 10%. So it was really nice, 3 to 1, 2 to 3 to 1, 3% trade, like $300. Very small size. I'm not trading much size, but like I said, to make 660 on very small size is really good. So that was AUTL. The more interesting one was the paper trade. Now, the big runner of today was EVK, and it was a tough one, and it's interesting to break down. So EVK generally always dies. You can see the gap fail, and what you'd expect is another gap fail. And then it comes down today. So, I mean, the reason it's probably panicking now is that, yeah, it's starting to come down because most long traders are expecting probably a gap down tomorrow. There'll be a few shorts twisted. I just can't bring myself to short it. It's not one of the patterns that I've got. But EVK was a very good long, very, very good long. Difficult short. My broker didn't. Trade Zero had borrows, but I don't have enough money in my account with them because I've lost recently. And my other broker didn't have the borrows, and I don't have enough money in Trade Zero to short. So I couldn't get them. Trade Zero had the borrows in the end, though, and fucking Cobra didn't. But I think it's important to walk through EVK because there's some very, very subtle long opportunities which most people won't see. So let's just bring up EVK because it's very, very interesting. Okay, here we go. So this is EVK in the morning, and I'm literally just testing the hotkeys to make sure they work. So I took a very tiny long and sold it for $7, $8, $10. But it was just literally to make sure the hotkeys were working. Because I fucked around with them recently. Guys, I'll answer. I see some questions. I'll post the questions if you want, and I'll answer the questions at the end. So 12 million EVK. It's the top percent runner. It's up 98%. It's got a history of running. So I was personally expecting fireworks out the open. I was looking for a long 930, not 930, not 930. Like I say, if you watch the video, I don't look for longs out the open. I'm looking for a long at 931, 932, and 933. And this wash is perfect as long as it washes and then we get that pull through 950. We came close. Arguably that was an opportunity long, which wouldn't have worked. I hesitated just for a second because I just wasn't sure it was going through, and then it didn't. Just fast forward a bit because after 933, nothing. That could have. Oh no, it couldn't have been. Sorry, I'm debating whether that. I'm debating whether that was a long entry, but it wasn't because I'll never buy the first candle, never. Which is because I was going to say, why didn't I take that? I'll never buy the first candle at 930, and then we see the second candle. Straight up dies, yeah, and then it's finished. So there was no opportunity long. But what did interest me is shorts think they're having a field day. You short on the higher day, 450, you don't get stopped out, you're down to the 380s. I mean, it's a great short. You've picked up like 15% on it. But the shorts that I like to take are shorts that big picture work, and they're going to work before the end of the day as well. I tend not to take these shorts that can reverse. And EVK was a good short, to be honest. I wouldn't have took it before 940 because I would have been too scared of it reversing. And it did reverse. It just reversed a little bit later. and what a reversal it was. So here we've got the first bottom coming in. And for me, this is not a long. If anything, it's a short. It's the volume is not big. Like, we're not getting 2 million candles every minute here. We've non-stop faded. It's up a lot. It's gapped a lot. For me, this is probably a short. If I had the borrows, I'd be shorting here, risking high day. Wouldn't be I might even be shorting here, risking the 440s. Like, because like shorting at 411, risking 440s, it's about 7%. I would have found that it's after 940. It's washed. It's looking weak. It's just going to dump. Like, so many shorts would have thought that. That would have been a good entry for me, like 410 risking 440. I risk 100 on every trade. I would have lost $100 when this rips. And can't always win. But none of these are long entries. It's important to say that. Now, where you get the long entry is we've got a bottom here, and now we've got a higher low. We've got a stock that's traded 25 mil volume that's up 80%. It's very capable of squeezing. You see, this is the paper long. You see that green candle? When I see this make a higher low, it's not a setup that I'm like have conviction with. So I've took a paper. It's the only paper trade of the day. Took a paper at 390, risking the low of the day. Now, I would have just got stopped out, but I didn't get a chance to put the stop in because I went long. The next candle came, and so I would have probably got stopped out by a second. So that's a lesson to not put your stop straight down. And then I put me. I'm still in the trade, but it's paper. It's whatever. But the point is, this is very important to watch because we've got a couple of things going on here. We've got a stock up 80%. That's the top percent gainer. It's very, very possible it can rip. We've got a bunch of shorts sucked in here, expecting this is definitely going lower high. But when we get the base and then we get the higher base, but it's this candle that really does it for me. You see this wick? It tried to reject and it got bought straight back up off this wick. I can go back. Watch how this bounces. We've got the higher low. Watch how this bounces off the base, bounces off the bottom. You see how fast that happens? I mean, look, we've speeded it up, but watch it again. Look how it bounces, and there's a ton of buyers underneath. There's some people with size right underneath that. It goes to reject. It bounces straight back. That big wick. These big wicks, for me, what I'm learning to see, they're very good reversal signs. Now I'm paper long. But again, when this base holds, and then we've got these two double bottoms, it's a very good long risk reward trade. It's 388 risking 370. You're risking about 3%, and if it's up 80%, it can go up 160%. Like these penny stocks these days can run, but it's this as well. So this is the second part of the long that I love. And again, it's laborious, but I'll just skip back. We've got the double bottom. We've got that the stock's got potential because it's the top percent gainer with relatively okay volume. But the signs on the intraday, there's three signs. There's the double bottom, there's the hammer candle wick, and then the final sign is this grind. Watch how it curls. Watch the curl on EVK. It's fucking magnificent. One green candle, two green candle. See how this is curling up? And it's about to explode. Any second, all the shorts are going to bail. There's tons of shorts in this. They're all going to cover through 410, 415. Same as I would. It's curling. Again, bit of reassurance. You see the hammer, it tried to dip, but people are like, no, well, there's buyers underneath this. You get another hammer. And then before you know it, we're just straight into cover. It's a highly shorted stock, and it's just covers all the way in. So I love the double bottom. I love the hammer. I love the curl. It's like a 3-part process into a long. I've just started saying this since I've been really studying longs, and I'm like, fuck, there's like 3 reassurance signs to take this long. And if you're short, 3 reassurance signs to get the fuck out. So so we'll not labor on EVK much more because I didn't even really trade it. I paper traded it, but once the stock makes a move like this, you've got this kind of wedge for it to go again, and it never really goes. Like this for me is too predictable, too crowded. We've got the wedge. It tries to push off that wedge. You see how it tightens again? It's trying to push off that wedge, but it's not going to do that. Like fucking sketchy stocks like EVK, they're not gonna do the predictable thing. Like a move that's got everyone in it, like it's crowded, it's not going to do the predictable thing. And we've got the failed wedge. I didn't take it long. I was just marking it out. It kind of pushes, like it does push like 10%. Like it kind of works, but it's not the big move that I think traders are looking for. So what do we get? We get this trend break and washout that puts shorts back in. Shorts are thinking, all right, maybe I'm okay, maybe the move's over, and it freaks longs out, but then it reverses when kind of no one expects it. So people are more inclined to think this is done now, but you see like this second wedge forming, which is less likely. You would think the first wedge was going to work, but it consolidates, catches itself up, and then you've got this second wedge similar to this wedge here. Now, to me, that looks extremely tight, like it should go. It looks extremely tight. It's like it's the perfect consolidation, but being a crowded stock, what does it do? This wedge kind of fails, and then a minute later it goes. So we've got like this, again, first wedge kind of worked, but we pulled back, formed really nice consolidation, really tight range, ready to go. We're failed, but what does it do? It's crowded, right? This wedge fails, and it looks like it's going to kind of death candle dump. It looks like, oh, it panics longs out. It gives shorts reassurance. But then it goes all of a sudden. Check the hammer candle. Check that hammer candle right there. That's so interesting. So I can't draw on this, but we've got this tightening range. Should have gone exactly on 1040. Fails, fakes the longs out, fakes the shorts out. It's crowded, fake outs happen. Get the tiniest hammer candle to say we're not done yet. And then it looks like we're going to surge again. And then we get the big move. So you see how it like faked out on the wedge, looked like it was going to panic. The panic got brought up. The reassurance signs was there. We got the same, very similar, the three green candles. You see these three green candles? I hope you can see my mouse. Yeah, you can. See these three green candles before it surged? We get the very same kind of move. Three green candles, surge. We also get, you see, we'll get the hammer candle, then the three green candles, and then the surge. It's the same move in this area. We've got the hammer candle, the three green candles, and then the surge. So we get an almost a repeat of the morning move in the late morning. And then for me, this is we start falling apart. The front side trend breaks. But yeah, from what I can remember, it's up and down. So EVK, yeah, closing in the 468s was a very interesting stock, very interesting position. So DL, we've already kind of walked through AUTL and paper. DLPN was what would be textbook a high volume resistance short. Again, the volume was very light, so I'm pretty sure I took this one just out of the open. We can have a look. Yeah, DLPN, I'm starting in like 920. It's much more basic, this. It's a high volume resistance short. The premise behind this is there's just an absolute ton of bag holders. From this day, it's trading much less volume. Everyone's underwater. It should just fail. So I start in at 1060. You can see the short arrows. We get a nice rejection from VWAP. We open, very light volume. And I'm just looking to add because I've got not a lot of size. I've got a high conviction rate that this is going to fail because of the bag holders and the low volume. And this is the only time I get trouble with this. I'm a little bit aggressive with adding into the weakness, thinking I know the big picture is going to fail. So I do cover there in the 970s when this candle comes through. I'm like, hey, what's going on here? Which I don't mind that because when it rejects, I'm just covering for safety. But when it does reject, I just get straight back in. I've only lost 10 cents. It's a realized loss, but I'm in same position size. I've lost 10 cents. And DLPN gives like no real trouble for the rest of the day, to be honest. I've got, I take everything off in this 875s, and then I just hit it again in the 910s, risking the 980s. Just like, it's a 50-50 risk reward, but I think the probability is on my side. So I've just got a little add, and then I take that off. So it's just like 5%, an extra 5% cushion. That was DLPN. And XCUR probably had the best lessons in it. So XCUR was, again, crappy chart. The only concerning thing was the lack of the volume history. And with sorry, XCUR, I guess there's a couple of lessons in it. With XCUR, it was trading more volume, right? So this was trading about 10-12 million pre. So I wasn't in a rush to. I was looking for a long on this in the morning, to be honest. So we go the opening minute. We surge in the opening minute. So I'm not chasing. I'm not buying a shitty penny stock. I'm not chasing a shitty penny stock at 9:30. I'm just not doing it. Guys, this is the last one. So questions, if you've got questions, we can talk after. So XCUR kind of pushes out the gate. I don't have the conviction to chase one of the worst companies in the world. The only reason that I'm taking these long in the morning is only when I think shorts are getting squeezed. That's the only time. So for me, the only play on this is like 940, 945. I'm just going to let it shake out and pick a direction. I want the squeeze to happen. Now, this is one of the stocks probably where I could have shorted strength and took a straight 8% quick there, but I want to play the big picture. I want to short when I know that the top's in for the day. I don't want to like scalp 5% and then get in and get out. I always fuck up when I do this. I just want to know when's the top actually in, because this is not the top. Like, it pushed, it slammed hard, but it could easily grind. We saw a BRQS just grind to fucking 3. We saw a bunch of stocks like play out like this and find a bottom, higher lows, find a trend and just grind. So I've got no intention of getting in this until at least 940, where we can see a bit more action. And do you know what it is? I get in at 935. We can see this entry coming up. If you watch now, there's a short coming in. It's like 9:39 in 20 seconds. And do you know what it is? It's a big mistake because we see that hammer candle again. We see that reversal, double bottom, reverse candle. It looks like it's going to push. And we saw the exact same reversal on... it was a play from Friday, and I highlighted it on the video last week. This exact reversal... let's see if I can find it. I'm going to lose track a little bit here. I'll just tell you the chart name, and then if you guys want to... ERYP. It was an ERY. It was ERYP. We saw the exact... I think it was ERYP. We saw the exact reversal. But anyway, I don't want to change too much. But this hammer candle that turns green and rips... it's a classic sign of a long reversal. So for me, I'm a bit eager. It's like 9:39 in 30 seconds. I'm like, oh, I'm getting in short. And I getting short at 182 there, risking 195, risking the high of the day. Me risk's good, $100 risk. And I don't respect the double bottom and the wick being bought up. I just didn't see it. I mean, I'm trading like 3, 4, 5 stocks at a time sometimes, and people say I shouldn't, but I fucking love the excitement of it. And today at work, like I was green on every single trade, but I miss that. I need to practice, and this is a new thing. I need to practice it more. So with XCUR, not the best short entry, but it's one I'm willing to deal with. And then I get stopped out here. Now, the big change I've made in these gap and craps is I'm not like short, adding, stopped, short, stopped. This is the first time I've been stopped out, and I'm $100 down on the name. I don't rush to get back in. I'm not desperate to get back in because as far as I'm concerned, this could bounce off VWAP and rip. So I'm just being patient and seeing what's going to happen. Now, this red candle, I've seen a lot of these candles dip off VWAP and then next green candle soars. So I wouldn't like to think I'd be in anytime now. The longer it lingers, the more likely I'm going to be short risking 199. It would be my second attempt. But I'm loving the patience that I've got here. I'm loving that I'm not like, look, so for example, there's the short. So I cover here, and I'm glad I didn't get in here because this candle could have surged. I'm glad I didn't get in here because this could have been the base candle before this candle surged. But when this candle doesn't surge, it's had a surge chance here. It's had a consolidation candle here, and then it's got a surge candle chance here. This is where I'm thinking I might have the odds on my side where this is not going to run because it's had a couple of chances to surge and it hasn't. So I take that short, 193 risking 199. I'm $100 down on the ticker. It's not that bad. I've had one loss on the ticker. It's fine. I mean, this is a good risk reward trade. 194 risking 198. It's 4 cents to make what, 20 cents? It's not a bad trade for me. It's a very good trade. It's worth the risk. And as it happens, it looks like I'm pretty high flying. And this is a piece of shit. I'm just expecting it to fail. This, I mean, maybe I should have took a little bit off here, but I'm trying to just hold full size until the end of the day. Like I say, the conviction is that it should fail by the end of the day. And I get a bit sketchy when it reclaims VWAP. It's 10 o'clock. I'm like, what the fuck's going on? Take a bit off just because I just don't want another full like 200 loss. I don't want another 100 loss and I'm down 200. I'll take a little bit off. Just I can put it back on if it doesn't fly through. You can see that we get a lot of top in action. So I hit the short again because I'm like, all right, I feel a bit more reassured. It's not going to surge yet. And that's when I take half off because I'm like, this ticker hasn't died. It's holding this range between 195 and 178. It's holding about a 10-15% range, and it's just bobbing in and out. So I don't think I'm doing any disservices by just covering some nearer the bottom of the range rather than it coming back and getting like stopped out full size at the top of the range. I'd rather take some profits and stop break even. That's where I'm at this point. We perfectly double bottom. And at this point, it's a descending triangle. We've got like, I'm expecting bouncing ball, lower highs, lower highs, lower highs, and we're done. This should be the end. It breaks support, and that's the end. This should be 160s, 150s. Somehow, God knows how, the market these days is fucking crazy. We managed to grind back. I'm not, but I specifically took half off in the 184s in this area here because I wanted to make it a risk-free trade. If I stop out, I'm kind of flat on the ticker. I took half off because I knew it was choppy. I knew it was bouncing within a range. And I just thought it's going to be easier to size down, take some profits, and let it do its thing. So I was able, through that cover, to then be comfortable to sit through anything difficult. And boy, was this difficult. So we get this crazy comeback from the triple bottom, from the descending triangle that should have, I'd expected would fail. We get this comeback and it touches 198. My stop's 202. Just above the high. I'm just above the high of the day. My stop's been 202 since this re-entry in the 192s, 191s. The stop never changes. I never add. Like, the plan's the plan. I'm not, again, I've been in and out of trades. I've scaled in, scaled out. All you do is fuck your average. And in a choppy market where stocks are chopping like this, all you do is burn commissions and get caught with too much size with too low an average. So I'm just not doing it. I'm playing big picture. I'm keeping me average. And on this occasion, not adding to a win and not lowering the average, sticking to the original plan works very much in my favor. So I'm fully ready to stop out. The stop's in. And it just doesn't happen. We get the rejection back down to the bottom of the channel. And the rest is kind of history with XCUR. We got this nice fall apart. I covered most of it. I can show you the chart. So if we look at the actual chart, XCUR, what I played. And just to reiterate, guys, there's some people on YouTube who like say the traders, but the paper traders. I only started paper trading today, and the only paper trade I've ever took was the long. I'll show you guys again. So XCUR, and this is why I screen record. I don't look at charts because it's not as clear, but you can see the covers on the lower day and just above. So that was the part that wasn't screen recorded. And again, like, it's nothing fucking special. Like, I'm not going to brag about $600, but the EVK, that was the paper long. The rest are real trades. And if you don't believe us, you don't have to. Doesn't matter to me. I'm just trying to help you guys. But I know you all believe us because you've seen us for the last 5 years. All right, we're going to hit questions and see what you guys have got to say. If there's any questions, let's run with them. Otherwise, I just wanted to show you a style of trading right now that's working. After a lot of, I've had a tough 6 weeks, 8 weeks. And this felt really good today. So I just wanted to document it. So if I ever go into another slump, if I ever go through another slump, I can watch it. I should name the video like "Watch this if you're in a slump, Jeeves." As of now, no ticker questions. How a big move looked like for long stand. I don't know. Is there a question you have in mind? It's hard for us to. I don't know where I can hit us on Twitter on it, and hit us on Instagram, Jonk87official, JONK87official. Hit us and we can chat because then I can voice note. It's easier. Hey bro, hope you're well. What's your opinion on OTC panic dip buys? Dude, I think the best advice I can possibly give you is save. If you can screen record, it's the best thing you can ever do. But if you can't, save every single chart. So like what I do, for example, is I'll go through, like, say I'll go stocks to trade during. So like I'm tracking stocks 80 cents to $80, up 8% on 1.5 million. So that's a very broad criteria. And I will look at every fucking single chart. I'll look at all of these charts. Like, there's about 40. I'll go through every single one and I'll look for my patterns. And if my patterns come, I save them. So, but for you, if you've got stocks to trade, it's easier because you could go, so you've got your normal scan, but then you can go to this section, parameters, and you can just take NASDAQ off, take NYSE off, take AMEX, and just keep the OTCs. So if you specifically just want to look for panic dip buys, you can just keep the parameters, like whatever you want to screen for, but keep them very wide, very low volume, especially for OTCs. And like basically save the chart of every OTC that you see, and keep track of all the OTCs and all the runners. And then whenever one does panic, save the chart. And screen recording is better, but if you can't screen record, save the chart. and you'll see every variation of the panic dip buy, and eventually you'll be like, this is where it's going to turn, and just trade them, and eventually you'll get them. But that's absolutely the best way to master any pattern. Dude, fucking gap and craps. Like, I've been shorting fucking gap and craps for years, but what I really want to do is like long the fuckers. Like if the market stays the same, I'm gonna long them, then short them. It's always been a dream of mine to like long gap craps in the like catch them on the way up and then short them on the way down. So it's always been a dream to ride the tickers up and short them down. And I've started doing it a bit and I'm making money a bit, but I've never been closer than I am now to ride these little runs up and ride them down, the little fucking cunts. What else we're looking at? Deadly Candle. AUTL was pretty cool. What do you expect to see in the volume to enter short? I just want to see weak volume pre-market, weak volume open. If I'm going to short early, if it's higher volume on the day, I'll just be more patient. I saw a guy called Shoe Investor or something. He made 10 grand this month. I saw his charts. He's like shorting all the gap and craps at like 10 and 11 and 12. You don't need to top tick things. It's the hardest lesson I've had to learn. I'm 5 years in. Hardest lesson I've had to learn is that you don't need to top tick. You absolutely don't. It's nice if you do, but it's not about top ticking. It's about fucking making sure the trend is backside and just catching part of the back. That's it. If you top tick, you try and top tick and you're wrong and it goes higher. And also if you top tick, it pulls back and you're like, oh, I've top ticked it, but then it just reverses and rips. It's almost better to not top tick. It's almost better to like be 4%, 5% late and then take 10% rather than top ticking and taking 15 in some degrees, in some areas, in a lot of areas. Thank you, Francis. Joni does stocks. Just watching a few of your long recaps. Sweet. And I think that is a wrap. So we actually did like 40 minutes. That was pretty cool. Quite a few guys managed to stay on here and be on here. Do you have any personal questions? Like, I'm growing my hair long for when I go to Bali and be a surfer. Do you have any other questions? What time is it? It's 9 o'clock. I think I'm going to join the Timbo and Stocks the Trade webinar and see what he's saying. Guys, just it's all good. I think good things are ahead. I feel really, really good. I feel really good about trading. I feel really good about risk. I can only lose $1,000 in a day now, but a good day is still 700 to 1,000. So like, my aim is to make good days $2,000 and max loss days one grand. And I'm really refining my entries to get there, because what I used to do is just me risk reward was out on every trade, and now me risk reward is getting good on every trade. So takes a lot of years in this game. Like, you can be profitable year 3, but it doesn't really mean that you're trading well. It means that you can be getting away with things and developing bad habits. Guys, I made 100 grand and I was full of bad habits. And I remember me tweet when I said I've made 100 grand, said I'm nowhere near there. I know I've made 100 grand, but I'm nowhere near there. And straight after making the money, all my flows got exposed, lost a third of it. Maybe more, like maybe 35%. And now I've got to work on all of them flows. But that's fine, because like you master, you learn how to make money bad, and you make a bunch. You can make a bunch, like 100 grand's a bunch of like, I bought this apartment with a lot of that money. You make a bunch of money. And then you've got to grind all over again. And the second grind is not as hard as the first grind, but it's a smarter, more intelligent grind, because you know a lot, but you've got to like dig even deeper. And I think that's really fascinating, and it's a fucking wonderful, beautiful journey. And I'm so pleased I've been privileged to go through it, 'cause it's fucking fantastic. Like, stock trading is fucking fantastic. But it's a real battle of self-discovery, and it's you versus you. And I think if most people will strive to make money any way they can in the beginning. If it works, fuck it, do it. But once you've made some decent cash, then you've got to really get strict on yourself. And dude, I could max loss tomorrow. Maybe I will. You'll see us tomorrow saying, drinking wine, saying how good I was, saying I'd cracked it, and I'm a spastic, moron, idiot, spoke too soon, and then the next day fucked it up again. So I feel like I've got it. But tomorrow I'm going to be making a video to you guys being like how much of a fucking idiot I am for making this video. So let's see what you guys are saying. I've got some comments. Experos, don't worry, it'll be saved. It'll come into you in an hour or so. Where do you hang out? Fucking nowhere good. I live in Newcastle. It's all right. I'm going to Indonesia, Bali, as soon as it opens. This place is going up for rent. I've bought this place. Some Dubai money and some trading money. So I'm in a really comfortable spot where I don't have a mortgage. So when I rent this, I get £750 a month for this, and that's all going to just renting somewhere in Bali and living a nice life. So I haven't cracked the matrix, haven't cracked the code, haven't cracked life yet, but I'm in a spot where I almost can live without worrying about work or anything for the short to long term. When you have kids, I'll be broke as fuck. But for just me now, I can almost like get by on just make a couple of thousand trading profits a month. I'm fucking sweet. Like, because me rent here covers there. So very close to living a good life for a few years, and then I'll be broke with kids probably. I don't know, dude. Probably not, because it's like giving an hour of me time for free all the time. But I'll definitely do things here and there to help you guys. Like, there's a ton of free YouTube content. There's a ton of free recent stuff. There's a month recap for 45 minutes just dropped yesterday. 45 minutes just dropped today. I don't get anything for doing this other than the satisfaction of like teaching me through teaching you and then teaching you. Dude, I'm fucking checking out all the indoor girls for sure. Can't wait. 2 to 3 a day, maybe. If you've got a job, 2 to 3, 4. The crazy multi-millionaire people do like 15 and 16 hours. I probably did it I honestly did about 2 hours a day. 2 hours a day through the week and 5 hours on the weekend. I did it every day every day for 3 years. And then I got sloppy like this last year. I've got sloppy because I was making money. As long as I was having $8,000 to $15,000 a month, I was just sloppy. And it's only when you get a problem and you have a red month or you take a big loss that you're like, fuck. But then in a way, I'm happy that I've had them, because now I'm getting even better. Me trades are much better risk reward. I'll never take a big drawdown because I physically can't. I've changed brokers, so I can't. So I'm getting to be a much better trader. So yeah, the property's mine, but I'm gonna rent it. Hope so, because that EVK, that was a tough one. I'm glad I didn't get the borrows. Yeah, you literally cannot have a life. Dan Irish is a friend. I like him a lot. I respect him a lot. I've chatted to him loads. And he's got a fucking he's got just an extremely good read on the market, like ridiculous. But these guys, Papa John, Bryce, Dan Irish, and I know these guys, and I'm not joking, guys. They work like they do like 14 hours a day now, and then they'll work on weekends. They do 14 hours a day now, and they're all up $500,000 to $1 million. So imagine what you guys need to do. Imagine what I need to do. But I love Dan Irish. He's a great kid. His strategy is simple, but very, very complex under the layers. I think you've got to develop an instinctive read, because it's a lot more than just long and wedge breaks. Although I've been studying this pattern for about a year, and I think I've got it. Like, I think I've very, very, very. It's took us a year, and I've had a lot of one-to-ones with him, but I think I've got it. So that's something that might come in the coming months. Live trading chat room. I haven't been in. I can only tell you the ones that I've been in. So the only ones I've been in that have been any good is if you want to be in long, like Tim Bourne, who I'm on the podcast with, he does Stocks to Trade Pro, and he's on video most of like all of pre-market and some of the morning, walking you through what trades to take and the why behind what trades you should take, not just like, oh, getting this, getting that, like a lot of rooms do. He does that, and you've got like Bryce on the evening, and you get Hoodie some evenings, and you get him. So like every morning and every evening, you get like a full digestion of the market. So in terms of like that room, it's very good. It's long biased. It's one thing that I would say, that if you're a short seller, I think you're going to find the focus is long. But if you want to go long, it's one of the, I can't think of a better room off the top of my head. I kind of think, but again, I haven't been in them all. Challenge is all right as well. Challenge is pretty decent. You've got a lot of good people in it. The silver one feels a bit cluttered to me, but I think it's I started through silver and I don't really regret it. This is the $1 million question. If you could choose one as a beginning stock, this is the $1 million question that I get asked quite a lot. Almost need to grab another glass of wine for this. I'm going to answer the question above just before because it's easier. Someone asked us a question about Roland Wolf. Yeah. Talking about longs. Yeah, I've seen Roland Wolf's guide. Again, I'm friends with Roland Wolf. Well, trading friends, not real friends, but hung out with him in Italy. Great lad, great guy, and he's the best long trader I probably know. I don't know, like Bryce and Dan Irish are fucking probably better these days. I don't want to compare people. Roland was the first one to like kill long trading. He was the first one to do it. Like not OTCs either. I think Roland was bossing Nasdaqs. So like Sykes was good long trader. Like maybe you can say Sykes was the first, but Roland was the fucking second. Roland was like, for me, growing up as a trader, Roland was the first breakthrough long trader who bossed the market. Before it was easy to boss it. Now it's easier to be a long trader. He did it when it was hard as fucking nails. So yeah, Roland's a very good person to watch. But that fucking, I want to join that small cap rockets. That the one with if you've got a chance to be with Matthew Monaco and Bryce, those guys are making a fucking killing. I'm tempted. Sometimes I talk to Bryce and Monaco, and like I don't want to ask to be in the room though, but I might even just pay for it, because if I was going to join any room and pay for it, I'd probably pay and join small cap rockets. In fact, that's probably the best advice I can give anyone, because I don't think it's that. I don't know how expensive it is. I think it's about $1,000 or something for the year. If I did anything, I'd probably join small cap rockets. That's where the real money is. That's where the guys are really making money. All right, but in terms of this question, yeah. So if you could choose one as a beginner, stocks to trade. If you depends. If you want to be a long bias trader and you're quite sure about it and you're not too bothered about shorting, I'd say small cap rockets. You're not going to get as many webinars, but the guys in it are like daily crushing the market, 30 grand a day, and walking you through how they're doing it now. But they've been around for years, 4 or 5 years, both of them. They know the subtleties and nuances. It's not. I don't know how much they go through the why of every trade and stuff like that. I don't know, but I know that they're crushing it and they're alerting in there and they're teaching in there and they're explaining why they're in trades and doing recaps. But if you want more of like a fundamental, basic, like walk through, like properly, I don't want to say one. I don't know much about small cap rockets, so I can't say anything. But if you like, I know STT Pro and Tim Bourne, like he properly. Hours and hours of webinars every day. He walks you through stuff like an hour in the morning, an hour in the evening. I don't think you get as much webinar footage or like video footage in in small cap brackets. I'm not sure if you get that. You'd have to check, but I know with SDT Pro you get like hours and hours and hours and hours of walkthrough. So I can't recommend. You just have to decide. I don't know what TLM is, but MIC. I've never been in the room, but that Bao is a fucking killer trader. He seems very enthusiastic and passionate. I'm certainly not going to knock it when I don't know about it. And I think we're out. I think I've tried my best to answer your questions. Try to be as honest as possible. And just be as objective and fair as possible. Yeah, he does, but I know what you're saying there. Long consolidation, very low volume. Yeah, and pretty much. There you go. Sounds good. All right, guys. Peace. We've been on an hour. I'm done. Tired. Live the dream. No max losses this week. Let's have 3, 4, 5 green days and get back on track. Hope your trading's going well. Peace out.